Hey, Don.
Hey, Jacob.
I made a huge mistake on my wedding this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Huge mistake.
Are you going to tell us about
Stay tuned to hear more on part 2. Apparently, our few viewers do not like it when we do a part 1.
Okay, so for our last episode, or 2 episodes ago, I did like part 1 of your funeral story and then part 2 because first off, it didn't all fit in one.
Yeah.
And no one likes watching 3-minute long reels anyway. So I split it into part 1 and part 2. But I said it was part 1 and part 2, but people did not like it.
People got a little saucy.
Yeah. So sorry, it just didn't fit.
So yes, I did make a mistake. And before we get into it, it's actually not that big of a mistake. The mistake only affected me as a photographer. Didn't affect the wedding, the couple, nothing about that. Mm-hmm. But I would almost say it was the worst thing I've ever done.
Oh, no.
Just because it made me so angry. So, how do I start? Okay. And I have not told Dawn this, by the way.
I actually have no idea.
Usually we talk about it, but not today. So this wedding was in Tampa, at a gardens in Tampa. And the day was going great. We did some getting ready photos at a really pretty hotel, and it was actually St. Pete. Mm-hmm. And the maid of honor was one of the most attentive maid of honor's ever had. She was amazing. Mm-hmm. But she did really focus on that dress. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really get to fluff it that often when like I can do it very quickly. Right. She was the kind that would fluff it and then pick at it, which is fine. And then fix
parts that aren't even in the photo. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when time is getting an issue, you're kind of like, come on, like you're doing great. You got it. Like, you know, you try to like give them encouragement. Like, it's great. You don't need to do anything else from what I see. This goes into the story. So we get all the way up to the ceremony and they have an arch and they're going to obviously be centered on that arch. And right before that, this girl that was not part of the wedding party, she was, I think, family adjacent. She comes up to me and she has a Polaroid camera. She was like, "Hi, the bride has instructed me like to take some Polaroids during the ceremony." And she was actually very nice. Like, "Where should I stand? I want to get in your way." So I'm like, yeah. I was like, obviously, when they come down the aisle, I'll be at the front of the altar, getting his reaction, getting her. But then I go to the main altar. I'll be back. If you want to get one up close, totally okay. Mm-hmm. So that was our first kind of interaction. So I was like, okay, she's doing Polaroids. And she had a Polaroid. And that Polaroid then became their guest book as well, like on a table. Mm-hmm. So, you know, fine. Wasn't in my way. The bride and groom come down. They get the altar. And they are so far off center. Oh. Where the bride is almost like the microphone and the officiant. Her head is almost like...
Oh, no.
So, you know, of course I see it right away. Mm-hmm. But part of me is like, well, this is their ceremony. And I can just kind of turn this way a little bit. Mm-hmm. But, you know... Then this girl who was singing there, she was like, they're off center. And I'm like, I'm aware, but
right, like
there's a ceremony going on. Like, I'm not going to stop the ceremony.
Right.
So then, but it's now in my head and I can tell other people are looking at it. And so everyone's like, you know, why are they looking at me to say something? But I feel like they are. So I decide like, okay, I'm going to say something, but not, here's what I've planned. I went all the way over as I do side photos, and I went to the very last bridesmaid and basically said, hey, over her shoulder, I was like, I need you to tell the girl in front of you, who's going to tell the girl in front of her, who's going to then get the maid of honor to come look at me, and then I'm going to tell the maid of honor, like... So they actually do it very well. You see this little game of telephone, and then the maid of honor looks at me, and I went to the back again, so no one can see me, and I was just like, these two need to move over. And she was like, got it. But it happened right when it happened. They were like, can I have the rings, please? So there was this kind of a weird, like they moved. And then she started like fluffing the dress a little bit and it was going wrong. So I walked up. I'm still pretending to take a close photo. And I just leaned in and I was like, guys, move over. Like I'm pretending to take a shot of the ring in the box he's handing over. And I was like, guys, move this way a little bit so you're center. You're really off center. And they did it. But then she had to fix the dress again. No. And then... she just sat there, and then the officiant was just one of their friends, so there was silence, and she spent...
No.
This isn't even the mistake yet. I'm just prepping you up for what's happening.
Okay.
So then
That's
she
uncomfortable
fixes the
already.
dress for, I swear, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and it's silent
No.
because they moved. So I'm like, that was my first, like, okay, I should, And all I got was because this girl with the Polaroid got in my head. And I never would have cared. I'm just like,
Well, I mean, to me, like, that's not our place. When the actual ceremony is happening, like, it is not... The ceremony isn't happening for me to take that photo.
Correct.
The ceremony is happening for you to get married.
Uh-huh.
And, like, yeah, sometimes it's not perfect, but I feel like it would be... I can see very few instances where it would not disrupt or ruin the ceremony to be like, hey, move over.
and this, I should preface this wasn't my wedding, your wedding. This was an outside company we shoot for. And I also had in my back of the head that the person we shoot for would say like, well, they're off center and the couple's complaining and come to us like, why didn't you fix it? Because that's just kind of how they are.
Actually, I have had that happen on a wedding for that company, and she didn't. She was like, that it's not the photographer's job to center you during the ceremony. We can't interrupt the ceremony.
That's not how I thought that would have gone.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
normally,
I'm not.
I've shot 1,000 weddings and I have never once done this. So I don't know why this got to me at this point.
Because you've been tired.
Yeah. So, okay. So then we go off. Nothing else happens. We get to the reception. I'm doing reception details. The girl with the Polaroid comes in and she's like, all the Polaroids are dark. Like, I'm shooting all this stuff and it didn't have a flash, or it did. I don't know. And I'm just like, yeah, it sucks. Like, that's what Polaroids are. Like,
right. That's why I'm a professional.
And she was freaking out. And I don't know if I just felt bad or I was in a very empathy place. So I was like, I said, well, here. And I had one of my little LED lights. I gave it to her. I put it on the little mini tripod and said, because I thought she kept saying for the photo booth. I was like, well, there, just leave it on. I was like, it's not going to last all night, but it'll give you something for some people. So I left it at that because I go about doing my details. Then it's time for introductions. So from that point on, this girl took that light and realized, of course, that like, she was like, wow, when I hold this light with my camera, wow, do my photos look, my camera phone photos look amazing, and video. And from the rest of the night, she was in my ass so much that I was starting to get real snippy with her. Like,
oh no.
And I was just like, first dance, she's now on the dance floor, like, and she's drinking too, because she's just a guest. So she got more and more drunk too. First, like toast, she decides to get like in the front row and just hold the light up and film. And again, the light doesn't bother me. It's just her is bothering me.
Being in your bubble.
Yeah. And then every time I go do a photo, boom, she's there all of a sudden.
Oh my God.
Flashing. She was like, oh my God. She ends up like doing table photos. So now she's also, I didn't have to do table photos, but I'm just saying like as that she is doing all of the stuff that like if I were to do now, people would be like,
we already did this.
So she's now taking away photos too. And she's just wilding out, just nonstop like an Energizer bunny. Dance floor, she's there all the time.
Oh my gosh. Did anyone ask her to do all of that?
No. Her job was to take Polaroids. Which I gave her a light to help her for whatever reason. And I'm obviously never going to do that again. Next time I'll be like, well, that sucks.
That's why we don't use Polaroids to capture weddings.
Yeah. And then up into the bubbles. Now, like, again, she just discovered that light plus phone make good. And she's like, where do I stand for the bubbles? I was like, you need to stand back there. Because I'm going to walk the couple down and then I'm going to have to stop them and kiss. You stay right there. Like, I was not being nice at the end. So then she does this photo of like, she got the wedding party, the girls and the bride with all of their boyfriends and the bride and the groom. And it was very like prom-y poses just on the dance floor and holding. And the DJ was talking to me. He's like, oh, do you need to get that? And I was like, nah. Like, and then she says something. She's like, oh, you going to shoot this? And I was like, no, I have photographed this variation already 1,000 times.
Right.
Like, this is not needed. Then the girls, though, then decide to pick up the bride. Now, this is a moment that I would. And I was actually on a 70 to 200 because it was actually time to be for speeches. So I'm prepared for toasts and speeches, not for this. So I start taking some candids because it is like they're picking up the bride. And then the the bride sees me and she looks at me and she was like, oh, get this too. And I was like, I got it. And then the girl, this Polaroid girl, was like, oh, you need to move over here. And I go, no, I don't. She was starting to tell me now how to shoot it, which I had to tell her. I was like, I'm on a 70 to 200 lens. I'm on a very long lens. I need to stay back because I was ready for toast. This happened out of nowhere. I still got the shot. It just means I was not as close as her because I'm not using this. But I actually did snap at her. And then I think the bride noticed because then something happened where like, she kind of sat down for a while. And then during dancing, she still had my light and I found it on the grass, like the turf, but like she'd put the Polaroid in the turf by the DJ booth and I just went yoink and put it back in my bag. And she was like, what happened to the light? And I was like, oh, I took it back. It died. And she was like, well, how am I going to capture? I was like, sorry. I don't know.
My God.
So again, I'm actually blowing this out. It's not the worst mistake I've ever made.
But that makes for a really obnoxious day.
But I've never been more stressed for being so nice when I should have zero stress.
And you should know better because you're never nice.
I know. This is what happens to me. I'm nice one time. I feel a little bit of empathy in my dark soul. And this is the thanks I get. I literally told the DJ, I was like, I created a monster.
You did.
She probably has 1,000 photos on her phone. I'm not joking. And hundreds of videos that she's gonna give the bride somehow.
Oh my gosh. Well.
And she kept saying, I can't wait to see your photos. Like, your photos of the dancing is gonna be great. And I'm like, no, they're not. It's just dancing.
Right. I know. I had a wedding not too long ago and everyone in the family kept saying like, oh, are you going to get this? Can you get this? Can you get me, the two of us dancing together? And I'm like, I've already gotten this like 20 times over. They all look the same, but they kept, like, it was for the same freelance company. So I overshot the dancing because the family kept saying like, come on, oh no, you got to get this one. Or like someone would be on the dance floor and someone else would grab me and be like, oh, you got to get this. And I'm like, but I already have grandpa dancing.
You're not going to tell the difference between this one and the last one.
No, and you're also not going to get all of it because there's only so many dancing pictures you can get or that you need without. Yeah. Also, to go back to the centered, I don't know which way is better being for them getting centered for the ceremony. Like, so some of the really good professional officiants we have will make sure that they are centered
100%.
and then that kind of fixes it. Or they might do like a little whisper.
I've seen them say like, slide over a little bit. They know exactly where they are.
Right.
That's why they're a professional officiant.
Right. But then there was another officiant who is also professional. But in my opinion, she thinks this is her time to shine. Instead of like letting the couple shine, it is her show.
Yeah.
And so, this was a few weeks ago, she, like, as everyone came down the aisle, she literally, on the microphone, Dawn, do they look centered? Do they look okay? And I was like,
don't bring me into this.
why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like, you should not know I'm here. I don't know. So I don't know what's better than they were perfectly centered, but it was obnoxious, or like they're not centered and the ceremony can flow.
And I feel like I would be on I'd pull my camera from my face so no one can see me and do this really like half-hearted thumbs up just so nobody can see me because I'm like so embarrassed that you. Because now, to me, that makes it sound like the photographer was asking for it.
Right. And I mean, I don't know. I get how important it is visually. But that's why we do pictures in front of your arch afterwards. And you get your nice centered photo under the arch. Like,
I agree.
You can't have a fluid day that's authentic in any way be perfect the whole day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, I pulled it off pretty well because I got lucky with the bridesmaids and then with the rings coming from the best man because the officiant being a friend was a pretty he was up, down, lots of start stops. It wasn't an even flow.
Right.
So I was able to then just kind of be like, guys, move over a little bit. So it came. But then, again, the fixing of the dress for
the 2 minutes
45 minutes of silence was a little awkward.
That is the worst. It's so
I could hear a
uncomfortable.
pin drop.
And I want to know if, like, I want to go back in time and see if I ever experienced that silence before I was a photographer and if it still bothered me then.
Yeah.
Or if it's only since
It
I'm
would
a
have bothered me
photographer
as a...
that, like, I just can't remember if it happened or how I felt. But
And all I want to do is make
so
like...
cringy.
It's just kind of go like, oh, it's fine. Oh, it's fine. You guys look good. Sorry. I need some water.
And the other thing, too, is, like, how often do you even include the bottom of the dress in photos during the ceremony? I'm worried about capturing their expression, so I'm always tight on them.
Yeah.
I might get one wide shot, but then when I get the wide shot, it's the whole freaking ceremony with all of the guests. So you don't notice the dress unless the dress is, like, stuck up on her hair somehow. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So for future brides, I will not be nice to any of your non-wedding party ever again.
No.
For you, I will bend backwards and
Sure.
part the seas for you.
Yes.
But not for Polaroid girl.
Unpaid
unpaid Polaroid girl. And I actually think, because, again, one of my strengths is I feel like I can read situations and people very well.
Yeah.
Been doing this long enough. And the bride was definitely getting annoyed with her at the end. Because she was paparazzi. Because, again, being professional, we know when to, like, just even on the dance floor, like, being on the edges. Right. But sometimes we come in for a really cool shot and then we back right out, right? We're in, we're out. And she was just in with an LED light and just everywhere. Yeah,
so I was talking to someone about this. I think it was a planner. Just how much I pay attention to how people are feeling. And then that, like other photographers are just kind of blind to it or don't care. But that sometimes I feel like I'm too far on the other side. So one of my recent bat mitzvahs, I feel like the mom might have been disappointed in how many like group photos I was taking, but the kid was tired of taking pictures, and like this is their party, and there's also a limit. Like if you've already told me like my face hurts from smiling, I don't want to do any more pictures.
Yeah.
How much can I force you to ruin your, to like aggravate you? Like that there's a
fine line, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that comes with doing as much as we've done.
Right.
And we both walk it pretty well.
And especially if it's just like off the cuff photos. If it's the ones on my list that you've told me you definitely want, okay, I'm going to keep pushing till we finish that.
Sure.
But if it's just now it's dance time and I'm going to keep interrupting them to get pictures, like when they've expressed that they don't want pictures.
Correct. That's the big one. When they've said so. Now, when they come up to me and be like, 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Unless it's a photo we talked about, say we missed it at the ceremony and be like, hey, we need to redo this photo. Let's do it now. I try to get all those done before. Once dancing starts, I'm done. I've clocked out for the night. My job is over.
Right. Well, you want to be capturing then the natural candid moments. Like,
yeah.
And if you're constantly, okay, look at me, like, it starts to ruin that. I don't know. I do think I go too far in one direction of caring too much how people are feeling, and maybe I'm not always right, and maybe I should just push through when I don't. But yeah, I just don't want to ruin anyone's day. Like if they don't want it.
I did same wedding. I did 5:30. It's dark in Florida right now, and it was a 5 o'clock ceremony, and it was a quick ceremony. But we still had family photos, and we did everything on their list. And mom is adding all these cousins out of nowhere, and I was like, sure, that's fine. I look at the bride. Sure, we did everything that's on the list. And then mom, we were done, and mom's like, one more, and I said, hurry. Like, there's no more light. The bride and groom deserve photos in the light, too. Obviously, I can handle the dark. I have tons of flashes. But the company we shoot for also likes some natural photos, too. So, like, I kind of snapped at his mom. Not snapped, but photography. Jacob snapped. It was like, hey, hurry, because they deserve newlyweds, too.
You have to advocate for the couple sometimes, yeah.
And I'm not afraid to do that, either.
Yeah.
Little did I know Polaroid girl would ruin the rest of my night. So it actually wasn't that huge a mistake.
Right.
See?
But it was just...
for me...
Because it was a 4-hour punishment.
Yeah. Like, I was punished for doing a good deed.
For the entire rest of the day.
For the entire night.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one legitimate mistake.
Okay.
And this was back probably 7 years ago when Disney used to have their Escape wedding packages, which the Escape was only for 2 hours. And it was basically you started 30 minutes before the ceremony, got pictures of the groom when they arrived, a few quick fake getting ready pictures or whatever you do.
Yep.
Picture of the bride when she arrives, the ceremony, and then you have an hour for all of
Reception.
for all the family photos, the newlywed photos, and 30 minutes of their
Cake cutting.
Toast and cake cutting. That was basically it. And sometimes there's even travel involved.
Because the package included the ceremony, the photographer, the cake, and champagne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In 2 hours.
I had one that was at the wedding pavilion, and the bride was late.
Which happens a lot.
It does. And so I learned this from you. When you have the groom first, you have to kind of temper yourself on how much you do of the groom, because if the final album has 40 images of the groom alone and then one of the bride, you have to keep things.
That's what would happen is I remember these because the groom would show up on time or even early, and sometimes the bride would be like, hey, can you stretch it out, keep the groom occupied? And you would end up having 1,000 photos of the groom, and she would show up late, and a lot of times they would take her and just push her down the aisle. So you didn't even get photos of her
Yeah, because at that point, it's so late that I can't be out waiting for the limo, because we also used to shoot them alone.
Yeah.
So I can't be outside waiting for the limo and then be inside for the rest of the processional in a blink of an eye. So that's what happened. I had pictures of the groom, then we all waited, then the bride was late, and they went straight into the ceremony, so I didn't have any pictures of her beforehand. And you know what that means? That means my whole rotation was screwed up.
Yep.
And so after the ceremony, of course, we did photos of them together. We did pictures out at Picture Point with the cast in the background. And then they kept adding family groupings. So we were rushing through all of that, rushing to get, because that was at the wedding pavilion. So we had to drive to the convention center at the Grand for their cake and champagne, and got back and realized they never got a picture of the bride alone.
Wow. We have the exact same story. I also got one of my only complaints. I had 0 pictures of the bride. Same exact place, same exact story.
Yep. And it's because you always did those individuals before.
Yep.
Because after, you didn't have time.
Yeah.
You would want pictures of them together. So I had to, I looked at the Picture Point photos, and I was like, I can Photoshop the groom out of this and get her by herself, because she was holding the bouquet with both hands and he was behind her shoulder.
Yeah.
And so I had to Photoshop a picture of her by herself, because I realized it and told our manager, but then the bride also complained, and I don't remember why we didn't do it right away. I don't remember the details, but I had to.
I didn't even realize. I just got the complaint, and they had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But it's one of those things that haunts me, because that was pre-pandemic. So the earliest it could have been was 2019, but I think it was more like 2018. So 7 years that on every wedding I have this panic moment of, did I get them both by themselves? Yeah. Because of that. And mistake.
Honestly, you could not get a picture of the groom by himself, and nobody would care.
No one would care.
He wouldn't care.
No one would care at all. Yeah. And it's not that I don't value those pictures. It's just, you get into a routine, and then when you're rushing, it's hard to keep track of everything.
Especially when you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you have a second that can be like, I don't know if we got a picture of the bride by herself.
Or the second could have been waiting for her outside of the limo and gotten something. Yeah. Exactly. So then I have, since that was just a short little story, I think my other... this wasn't a major mistake, but my other category of mistakes is, again, not really mistake, but just it's hard. It makes my life harder. End product, still great.
Yep.
Makes my life harder. Is when in that getting ready pre-ceremony time, making the decision of how to change the plan when the plan has gone wrong. So a recent wedding, it was 2 brides. I didn't realize this. They didn't even tell the planner this, but the venue had a groom suite and a bride suite. And the groom suite was perfectly neutral. It wasn't like, you know how some venues it's like real masculine.
Yeah.
It was still like light colored walls, tan, like a caramel brown couch. So I guess that was kind of masculine. But the bride suite was like the clover leaf wall and the neon signs and the vanity mirrors and all that.
Vibes.
So they both wanted to use that room for their getting ready photos, but separately.
Yeah.
So we had to keep switching rooms without them seeing each other.
That's a thing.
And one of the brides was 30 minutes late. So I was supposed to do details for one, details for the other one. Get the first one dressed, then get the second one dressed. It didn't happen.
You know how hard it is to find a good spot for one dress?
Oh, they got the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but
they
still.
just got it on repeat. But yeah, so then it's just that decision making where I was like, okay, so you weren't supposed to start getting dressed, but now she's not here. So can you start getting dressed? But then that side of the family was Thai. And so they were wearing like traditional Thai wedding attire. So it's similar to Indian where, you know, how with Indian like, there's like sari, like Thailand.
I thought you were talking about Thai boys.
No. No,
yeah.
It's not a sari, but it's similar where it's like another piece you have to drape and pin and like that stuff takes a long time. So I said, okay, all of the bridesmaids and mom get dressed so we can try to get you dressed before she even gets here. And then that can help me make up the time. Except I didn't know that all the bridesmaids and mom were wearing the same type of attire as the bride. So I didn't know they all had to get pinned and have multiple layers and all this stuff. So 45 minutes later, they still weren't dressed. And then it just kept snowballing. Every time I decided, so now you go to that room and then you guys come in here and then I'll just go straight through with getting you ready, not realizing now it's messing up first looks with grandparents and people are waiting in the hallway and now I can't move them because then grandparents will see. It was just like a snowball of feeling like I made the wrong decision.
You did, by being a wedding photographer. That was the ultimately wrong decision.
But all that meant was like the pre-ceremony photos of each of the brides with their respective parties, I couldn't fit. Because then we got to, it was 40 minutes before ceremony.
There you go.
And neither of them wanted to leave their rooms. And I was like, well, I don't really know what to do now because guests were showing up. And I was like, we'll just have to do it all after, which meant after I had to go like blazing lightning fast. And again, it was a freelance gig, so I was shooting alone. So we couldn't even split. Normally if I need to make up that time, okay, you take one bride and their party, I'm going to take the other one and their party, and we're going to go side by side, knock it out. Couldn't do that. So I had to do it myself. So it just meant... And then, oh my gosh, it was the longest ceremony ever.
Just like the story.
It was like a 37-minute ceremony that literally was just vows and rings.
I don't love anyone enough to do a 37-minute ceremony. Sorry, Crystal.
Well, the officiant was their grandfather, so it was very chatty. But even the bride's dad did a toast, and he was like, I think my dad used every single verse in the Bible during the ceremony.
He just read the whole Bible?
But anyways, so that's like the other category of quote-unquote mistakes that happened to me is just that decision-making where you just have to figure out how to make up time, and then sometimes it's not the right choice.
And I don't make mistakes.
Yeah, never.
But the one time, let's move on. I don't want to think about it anymore.
So what did you shoot this week?
So I started off with a wedding with a Disney wedding with Dean. BFD. Dean. I know, I was the second. And you know how little I get to be seconds anymore sometimes? So it's like a vacation.
I'm second for Dean on Thursday.
I literally was like, I may not even shoot. And it was a vow renewal.
Oh.
So I was like, what am I even doing here? I'm just here to make Dean look good.
Yep.
Pretty standard grand wedding pavilion. It was the old 7:30 wedding pavilion into a 9 o'clock dessert party.
Ouch.
So there's always that Epcot dessert party. So there's always that
hustle.
Yeah.
Race to get through security.
Good news, it was a vow renewal, so it wasn't a big party. And, vow renewals are, how much Jacob loves vow renewals.
Sure.
So, they don't want a lot of photos. They want a lot of family photos.
Sir.
That's my Mac. That's my MacBook, not my phone.
Sir.
I've never had my MacBook.
We are professionals.
No, we are
here.
not. Don't you ever call me that again. But we made it, and it was pretty fun, pretty easy. I had then a separate dessert party, just a standalone dessert party for another wedding. I don't know. You just show up and shoot some fireworks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for people who don't know, dessert parties are typically like at a location at Disney where you can view fireworks. So the point of it is to have fireworks photos.
Big ones are the Grand Floridian and Epcot, because that has the best view of fireworks, where you can actually like have a convention space or tables. So this was at Epcot again, and you just do some fireworks photos. And then finally, we shot a bar mitzvah together.
Yes.
Which I'll let you explain, because it was your thing.
Well, my favorite part about this bar mitzvah, it was one. Wait, was it one where we did photos the same day?
It was the one in the ballroom that was split, where we did the ceremony and then they opened up. It was in the ballroom, but they had the walls.
No, it wasn't that one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was the one before that.
This is how many we have shot in the last couple of weeks.
It was the one with the camp. Oh no, you weren't with me for the one with the campfire. No, it was the one in the.
I don't make mistakes.
You were right. Okay,
I don't
yes.
make mistakes.
So it was the one. We photographed the service and then went straight into photographing the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a little hectic doing it that way because they used the same set of chairs for the service as for the party. So like while I'm trying to corral people for family photos, all of the chairs are moving to the tables and
they had a big ballroom.
Giant ballroom.
And then for the ceremony, they took 2 walls and made a small ballroom within the ballroom.
Right.
But then the minute it was over, they opened that up. So then it becomes kind of not chaos, but a little chaos, because there's noise. They're moving chairs,
Right.
They're moving tables, clanking, and you're sitting here going like, "Where's mom?" And of course, mom gets distracted talking to someone else, and sister gets distracted.
Well, because the rest of the guests are like, "Oh, service is over. Now I can talk to them and greet them." And so but it was fun.
Yeah.
Good.
Nothing
mitzvah.
major happened.
So this was a busy week for my company because we had some overlap. So the same time we were shooting that mitzvah, our friend Amy was shooting a 2-day event for us, or for me. It was like a Diwali celebration. So it was like the first day was the prayer and then the second day was the party. So she was out doing that while we were at the mitzvah. And then the other day that she was shooting that, I was photographing a gallery opening at the Art and History Museum in Maitland, which was really fun. It was something different. Basically just, they wanted lots of pictures of people viewing the art, interacting with the art. And it was a different challenge for me because I kind of researched the images that other photographers had done for them that they said that they liked. And it was almost all available light in the gallery. But this was at night and it's little pinhole lights. So it was actually it was only 2 hours, but it's still kind of fun to try not to use my flash and do something different and wait for people to get in the right spots and silhouette people with the art is on the wall lit behind them and getting silhouettes of them holding up their phones. And so
just being photojournalistic AF.
Yeah. So we had that. I did some more product photos for a company. I was photographing.
Oh, did you hear my jaw just pop?
Yes.
Jesus. I can't talk anymore. Is that bad?
I was photographing beauty products.
On this table.
Yeah, on this table. And then I had senior photos for a set of twins who I had photographed their bat mitzvah. Now they're seniors in high school.
And time to retire.
Once I get a wedding, then I'm out. And then I also had a freelance wedding in St. Augustine at the White Room, which...
Oh, the White Room.
Somehow I had never used the most popular spot at the White Room before. I've been there a bunch of times, but I either only have the reception there and the ceremony is at the church across the square.
Yeah.
Or I've done a rooftop ceremony. So I've never used the little chapel next door.
Yeah.
So I was all sorts of confused about where we were going, but it was crazy. I didn't realize how the White Room stacked their weddings. Like they were telling me like, oh, we have to be done with this space at whatever time. It was like a 2:30 ceremony and we had to be out of the chapel at 4. And I was just thinking like, oh, we have to be, excuse you.
This story's boring me again.
We have to be out of the chapel. Like, that's our time to be done with photos. No, we had to be out of the chapel at 4 because there was another ceremony at 6.
That's Disney wedding style.
I know. Like, we were in the ballroom next door. We couldn't start open dancing because then our music would have been too loud for the ceremony next door.
Okay, that's too much, though.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Did they still use the getting ready rooms at the bottom floor?
Yeah. But they had to empty them. They had to get out. Like, as soon as they left for the ceremony, they couldn't go back in those rooms.
Interesting.
And then that's when the next group. So our wedding was like a 2:30 ceremony, and then there was a 6 o'clock ceremony.
Where did they go for their reception?
So I was in like the big ballroom, but then there's upstairs that like brick
that's
room,
right. Yeah.
Loft.
Yeah.
That has the roof access. So that's what I've always used.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
I've used them all.
I just didn't realize that I hadn't.
What a cool story, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so that was my week. It was busy.
So I was doom scrolling through Instagram the other day, and I got algorithmed.
I don't think it's a real word anyway, so whatever, however you want to say it.
A video of, and I'm not 100% sure, but the show Pete and Pete, if you remember from Nickelodeon, I'm pretty sure it was either one or both brothers have a podcast, and they were talking about the show, and they were saying like, oh, in this episode we did this. I don't know, whatever it was, it made me think of Nickelodeon shows in the 90s. And if you're a boring millennial like we are, then let's talk about some of your favorite Nickelodeon 90s TV shows.
I don't think you're prepared for how boring I am.
I have been prepared my whole life. I think the entire audience knows how boring you are, but continue.
Well, I was just going to say, like, there were some obvious ones that came to mind when you mentioned this.
Yes.
So, like, Double Dare.
Well, you want to go just sports first?
You have a much deeper recollection of this than I do.
Double Dare?
Uh-huh.
Guts?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Those are my top 2.
I can go back as far as Wild and Crazy Kids. Family Double Dare. Of those, though, what is your favorite?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
So good.
Yeah.
My problem with Guts is I wanted to be on Guts so bad because those nerds, I was like, these dorks are getting hit by glitter. I was like, get your ass up the mountain. It's not that hard. Like, I would have destroyed those kids if they would never let me put on there.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
a somewhat athletic kid that played sports. They had like nuclear scientists on there. They were like, I was like, come on.
I wonder, you know how they'll sometimes do like, Where Are They Now? And it's like, you know, actors from an old show. Like what?
That's going to be our new podcast.
We need a Where Are They Now?
You know,
Guts
they all did get that piece of the aggro crag. They did get that piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and people have sold it for thousands and thousands of dollars because it was, you know, I think they said only like 100-something kids won that because they only had that many episodes. So, Guts. But Legends of Hidden Temple, that was legit.
Yeah.
Get the 3-headed, that monkey. No one could ever get the monkey.
I know.
You're just screaming at the TV. Turn the head!
Yeah. I would have liked to participate on that.
Yeah. The temple guard scared the shit out of you every once in a while. I don't care who you were, man. Some of those guys, it was almost like a little, like, creepy, like, hey, 12-year-old, I'm in the ball pit. And then, like, suck them down with you. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That was a great show.
So that's where, like, when you first mentioned that, I was thinking Double Dare and Legends of the Hidden Temple. And then I started to realize I couldn't remember any other I couldn't remember which other shows I used to watch were for sure Nickelodeon. And then, except for what was on at Nick at Night.
Well, Nick at Night was a whole other...
That was a whole other thing, but I remember watching Nick at Night when I was a kid.
Clarissa Explains It All?
Yes.
Actually, I've seen a few memes where it said, like, Clarissa has explained none of this shit that we're in right now. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I don't think I watched that.
Ooh, come on.
Hello.
I know.
I am afraid of the dark. I didn't need to watch it to figure it out.
What else was on Nick at Night?
Was it Snick?
No, Snick was Saturday Night Nick, which was Nick at not Nick at Night. That was the teen version of Nick at Night on Saturdays. That was where Are You Afraid of the Dark and
oh, that was like the whole
Snick was
it was TGIF,
yeah, and
then
then
it was Snick.
Nick at Night was the adult when Nickelodeon would play like
old shows.
Old shows.
Yeah. No, I remember watching the old shows.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember. What was the one that Keenan... Wasn't Keenan...
All That. Well, no, first it was Keenan and... Well, they did All That, then they did Keenan and Kel.
Mm-hmm. I do think I watched All That occasionally.
Yeah.
I didn't always have options on... Like, it wasn't up to me what was on the television.
Gotcha. As an only child, I had a TV in my room, so...
I never had a TV.
I can go as far back as watching, if you knew... what was it called? You Can't Do That on Television, where they actually started the green slime. Oh. When you said, I don't know, and they would slime you. It was like a Canadian show. Yeah, this is deep cuts. The two best scripted shows, Hey Dude and Salute Your Shorts. I can do both of those theme songs right now if you want me to.
Let's do it.
You make your home out on the range. And we run, we jump, we swim and play, we row and go on trips. But the things that last forever are our dear friend ships.
I don't remember.
Camp on Awana. We hold you in our hearts. And when we think about you, it makes me want to fart.
I remember that part.
Yeah. So those are two great shows. Those are my favorite scripted shows. What else was in the 90s? I said Clarissa. I watched Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah, I watched a lot of like sitcoms that were not on Nickelodeon. So I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember. Like, we watched TGIF.
Sure.
But that wasn't Nickelodeon.
Step by Step. Mm-hmm. That was my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Step by Step, Family Matters, Full House.
Full House.
What was the fourth one?
I didn't like Family Matters as much. Urkel really bothered me.
What?
I know.
What?
I didn't think it was.
Blasphemy.
I just think it was funny. And Full House was a little too cheesy even for me at that age. Like, I watched it, but I never got into it. But I was a big Step by Step guy.
Yeah.
Love Step by Step.
What was the fourth show?
Well, I mean...
Did it just rotate? I can't remember, because we used to watch all of it.
Internet will tell me.
Classic TGIF shows.
Why is your fiber internet being slow? We're live streaming this.
Nothing?
Nothing. TGIF ABC lineup. What were we missing?
TGIF lineup. Oh, was it Boy Meets World?
No, because that was Disney Channel.
Oh, yeah.
Which I definitely watched the crap out of that too, so I'll allow it as that lineup of shows.
Okay, Wikipedia, I can't give you money right now. Okay. Full House.
Sabrina. Oh, no, Boy Meets World was on there, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Belvedere?
I remember
different strokes.
Well, there was a whole...
It did change a lot. Perfect Strangers, just the 10 of us.
Those are all about dinosaurs.
We didn't watch that show.
Not the mama.
We did. Okay, yeah. So Family Matters, Step by Step. Yeah, Boy Meets World. Hang with Mr. Cooper.
I just said that.
I wasn't listening.
We are so far off Nickelodeon.
We are, sorry.
The one that I didn't mention, though, was Pete and Pete.
Oh, right.
Which was the whole point. That show was wild.
I don't remember watching that show a ton. I remember it, but
it was so weird, but in, like, the best way. Because it was like, remember, the kid had a tattoo, and he would make a dance, a younger boy, mom, and then she had a plate in her head, and that was part of the show. Artie, the strongest man in the world, who was this, like, skinny guy.
I mean, I remember the show, but I don't remember watching it a ton.
All right. Well, what were your favorite Nickelodeon shows?
Or just 90s shows.
90s.
Oh, well,
late 90s, early 2000s.
I should say we were also a big Saved by the Bell family.
Yeah, I was not.
We watched a lot of Saved by the Bell.
I didn't watch it.
All the way through. Obviously, didn't really love the earliest episodes or the late college years, but everything in between. And we would still watch repeats for years and years and years after.
I wanted to come here so bad when I was a kid to Nickelodeon.
Me too! Oh my gosh. And then when they shut it down, it was kind of disappointing.
The building is still there.
Yeah.
1 year for when I worked at Horror Nights, this is 2005, Nickelodeon was still, like, the insides are still there. And our changing room was just in like a lobby that they curtained off for Horror Nights for my room, and I got changed in front of like a 20-foot Jamie Lynn Spears poster for Zoe. What was she, like Zoe 101 or something? And I was like, this is uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, I
she
did
was
know
just
that
staring
the
at
was
me.
still there. Yeah.
And if you go into, there are restrooms in the front of Nickelodeon Studios. I was just there for Horror Nights because they made you go around it. The bathrooms still they're tiled, but there's green slime like splats in there. There's one little remaining piece of Nickelodeon Studios.
That's fun.
That's where they filmed Guts, Legends of the Hidden Temple. I could have been there.
I know.
Pushing those nerds out of the way. Getting to the top of the aggro crag. Wow, world record. Jacob Robertson did it in 4 seconds.
Maybe they would. Do you think they like made the contestants do a run through, like a practice run through, and been like, "Oh no, you're too good."
I kind of feel that way because there was always a kid with like way too thick of a glasses. I'm like, what? No.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, rant over. See you on Nickelodeon.
All right, bye.
So I'm starting.
Yes. By like
I'm gonna burp.
half a little.
Okay. Kind of have to toot, but I'll fight through it.
Hold on.
If I start sweating, you'll know. Fucking dorks.